Picture this. You're watching the World Cup with friends, your team just scored, and everyone jumps up screaming. And all you can say is, yes? Good? That's it. That's the whole reaction.
And meanwhile, everyone else is shouting things like, "What a strike!" or "He absolutely smashed that!" And you're just standing there nodding like you understood.
Today, we're fixing that completely. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to talk about goals, teams, predictions, and even trash talk your friends in English like it's nothing.
And don't go anywhere, because near the end, we've got a secret phrase that native speakers use constantly during big matches, and almost no textbook ever teaches it.
Welcome back to Master English Talks. Diana, are you even a football person, or are you just here for the snacks during the World Cup?
Honestly, mostly the snacks. But last World Cup, I sat with my cousins for the final, and I realized I didn't know how to say half the things I wanted to say. I just kept saying, "He's good," about every single player.
That's exactly why we're doing this episode. Today, we're covering how to talk about the World Cup naturally. Teams, matches, players, predictions, and reactions.
First, we'll go through the basic vocabulary you need just to follow a conversation. Then we'll get into how to talk about matches and give your opinion like a real fan. And at the end, that secret phrase we promised.
Before we jump in, tell us in the comments. Are you into football, or are you more of a watch-it-for-the-atmosphere person like Diana? We want to know. Let's start simple. If you want to talk about the World Cup, there are a few words you'll hear again and again, so let's lock those in first.
Match, or a game, is one football event between two teams. The tournament is the whole World Cup, all the matches together over about a month.
Here's a useful pattern. Team plus beat, or lost to plus team. For example, Argentina beat France in the final, or France lost to Argentina in the final. Same event, two ways to say it.
You can also say the match ended 2-1, or more naturally, it finished 2-1. Natives almost never say the score was 2-1 in casual talk. It finished 2-1 sounds much more natural.
And here's a third one. When nobody wins, you say it ended in a draw, or simply they drew. Short, simple, done.
Now, let me tell you something embarrassing. During the last World Cup, I texted my friend the game finished with 2 goals to 1 goal, and she sent back 3 laughing emojis. I sounded like a robot reading a scoreboard.
That's actually a really common mistake, trying to translate word for word instead of using the natural short version. So pause the video right now and try saying out loud, "It finished 2-1, or "they drew." Go on, say it. Even if you're alone in your room, just say it out loud.
One more useful variation, instead of just saying a team won, you can say they came out on top, which sounds a little more natural in spoken conversation. For example, Brazil came out on top in a really tense match.
So to recap this part, remember your core pattern. Team beat team, it finished with the score, and if nobody wins, they drew.
And remember, we've got that secret phrase coming up soon. The one native speakers use constantly when they're excited during a match. And it's honestly one of the most useful phrases in this whole episode. Plus, in a few minutes, we're going to show you the one mistake almost every English learner makes when they talk about their favorite team. And it happens in literally the very first sentence they say.
Okay, now that you've got the basics down, let's talk about how to actually discuss a match, like giving your opinion, predicting results, and reacting to what happens.
This is the part people usually struggle with the most, because it's not just vocabulary, it's about sounding natural when you're excited or disappointed.
Let's start with predictions. If you think a team is going to win, you can say, "I think they're going to win this." Or more casually, "I reckon they've got this." I reckon is very British and very casual. It basically means I think.
You can also say they're the favorites if a team is expected to win, or they're the underdogs if nobody expects them to win, but they might surprise everyone.
Now here's a live example. Imagine you're watching a match with a friend and someone is about to take a big shot.
Do you think he's going to score this?
Honestly, I'm not sure. The keeper's been solid all game, but if anyone can do it, it's him.
Come on, come on. Yes! What a finish!
Unbelievable! That's exactly the kind of goal you dream about scoring.
Notice how casual that sounded? In formal English, you might say, that was an excellent goal. But in real conversation, natives say things like, what a finish, or that's an absolute screamer. Much more expressive.
And here's the mistake we mentioned earlier. A lot of learners say, I am fan of Brazil, or I am supporter of Argentina. In English, you always need a before the noun. It's I'm a fan of Brazil, or I'm a huge Argentina fan. Never skip that little word. It makes a big difference. If you want to sound even more natural, you can say, I've supported them since I was a kid, which shows a longer relationship with the team, not just casual interest. Your turn to practice. Pause the video and try saying a full sentence about your favorite team using I'm a fan of or I've supported them since. Say it out loud right now. Drop your team in the comments below. We genuinely want to know who everyone's supporting this World Cup. Now let's talk about something really fun. The expressions and idioms native speakers use during big matches, because football English is full of colorful language. One of the most common ones is on the edge of your seat, which means a match is so exciting or tense that you can barely relax while watching it. You'll also hear nail biter, which describes an extremely close, tense match. That semifinal was a total nail biter. I couldn't watch. If a team is playing really badly, natives might say they're all over the place, meaning disorganized and messy. And if a player misses an easy chance, you might hear, he should have buried that, meaning he definitely should have scored. There's also extra time, which is the additional 30 minutes played if a match is tied after 90 minutes, and penalty shootout, which decides the winner if it's still tied after extra time. Learners often confuse these two, so remember, extra time comes first, and the shootout only happens if extra time doesn't settle it. Let's compare formal versus informal here too. In a formal interview, a coach might say, we are extremely pleased with the result. But two friends watching at home would just say, we smashed it, or that was amazing. Same feeling, very different formality. And a quick cultural tip, during the World Cup, don't be surprised if people you're talking to get very emotional, very loudly about football. In English-speaking football culture, shouting at the screen, groaning dramatically, and passionate arguments about referee decisions are all completely normal. It's part of the fun, not rudeness. So your challenge here, pause the video and try building one sentence using nail biter or on the edge of your seat. Even something simple like that match was a total nail biter is perfect practice. Okay, mistakes time. And honestly, we've both made these too, even after years of speaking English every day. Mistake 1. Wrong? The match was very exciting for me. Correct? I found the match really exciting. Or simply, that match was so exciting. Why? Very exciting for me sounds translated and a bit stiff. Natives usually keep it shorter and more direct. Mistake 2. Wrong? I am agree that Messi is the best. Correct? I agree that Messi is the best. Why? Agree is already a verb in English, so you never need am before it. This is one of the most common mistakes English learners make in football chat and everywhere else. Mistake 3. Wrong? He make a goal. Correct? He scored a goal. Why? In English, you don't make a goal. You score one. Make just sounds unnatural here, even though it might feel like a direct translation from other languages. Imagine confidently shouting, he made a goal during a match with English-speaking friends. They'll totally understand you, but you might get a few confused smiles. And now, here's that secret tip we promised you at the very beginning. Okay, quick practice time. Listen carefully and choose the option that sounds more natural.
Situation. Your team just won the match. Option A, we won. I am very happy. Option B, we won. I'm so happy right now. Which one sounds more natural?
Option B, definitely. I'm so happy right now has that natural rhythm and stress that native speakers use, while I am very happy sounds a bit flat and textbook-like.
Second situation. Someone asks what you think about the final. Option A, I think will be a good match. Option B, I think it's going to be a great match. Which one's correct?
Option B, you always need a subject before is going to be. I think will be is missing the it, which is a really common small mistake, but it changes whether the sentence actually makes sense.
Now, say the correct sentence out loud right now. I think it's going to be a great match. Repetition really is how your brain locks this stuff in.
Now it's your turn. Create your own prediction sentence about an upcoming match and share it in the comments below.
Remember right at the start, we talked about only being able to say, yes, good, when your team scores? Now you've got real phrases. What a finish! Did you see that? That was a total nail-biter. So you'll never be stuck like that again. Let's do a quick recap. Today, you learned the basic match vocabulary, how to give your opinion and make predictions, some great football idioms, and a few of the most common mistakes learners make. Plus that secret phrase, did you see that? Honestly, football is one of the easiest topics to practice English with because everyone's talking about it right now. Try using just one phrase from today's episode the next time you watch a match. If this episode helped you, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps more learners find this channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Master English Talks so you don't miss our next episode. Next time, we're covering something that trips up even advanced learners. How to talk about your feelings and emotions naturally in English without sounding overly dramatic or too stiff. You really don't want to miss that one. Thank you so much for learning with us today. Keep practicing. You're doing amazing. See you next time.